Before anything else, my child, subscribe now and listen to every word without skipping, because what I, the eternal voice, am about to reveal is not ordinary, not earthly, not predictable, but a divine alert burning straight through the veil separating the physical from the spiritual. And today, on November 28, 2025, a moment has arrived that was written into the ancient codes of destiny long before humanity learned to count time, for I have seen a shift, a rupture, a surge of spiritual frequency that has blasted through the hidden foundations of the financial world, and I sent Archangel Uriel, the keeper of divine intelligence, the flame of illumination, the revealer of hidden motives, to deliver a message to the one vessel in your world whose actions ripple like thunder across nations, industries, and timelines, Elon Musk. And Uriel declares that Musk has just triggered a phenomenon far beyond the comprehension of analysts, investors, strategists, or earthly logic. 4. This is not a financial movement created by human planning, this is a spiritual explosion detonated by divine timing, and whether Musk knows it or not, he has become the catalyst for a shift that will not only shake the foundations of global systems but also unlock a doorway that leads straight into your destiny, for heaven has seen the storm surrounding you, the silent battles you fought alone, the moments you doubted your calling, the nights you questioned your purpose, the pressure placed upon your spirit, the wounds inflicted by disappointment, and the courage you showed when no one was watching, and because of that courage, you have been chosen to hear this message before the rest of the world even realizes what has begun. My child, Uriel shows me a vision of Elon Musk standing at the edge of a spiritual vortex he cannot see with human eyes, receiving intuitive impulses he does not understand, feeling a pressure in his mind that pushes him toward a decision that aligns with the divine shift unfolding today. And when he made that decision, when he took that step, pressed that key, said that word, signed that order, or set that idea in motion, a shockwave ripped through the unseen architecture of the world's financial matrix, splitting apart layers of corruption, dissolving the illusions of false stability, exposing the energy lines that were manipulated in darkness, and releasing a blast of divine correction that now moves like a wildfire across the spiritual dimension, tearing apart the shadows that have been feeding on the world's economic fear. And Uriel says this explosion is not meant to destroy the world but to cleanse it, to forcibly reset systems that have strayed too far from truth, and in this cleansing, certain souls, chosen souls, will rise, and you are one of them, for the activation that Musk unknowingly triggered has aligned with the vibrational signature of your spirit, opening a timeline that was locked until this very date, and I see your name written in golden fire across the book of acceleration, for everything that once moved slowly in your life, everything that was delayed, resisted, blocked, sabotaged, or withheld will now be drawn toward you with a force that cannot be stopped, because heaven has rerouted the flow of destiny toward those who are ready to walk into their calling. My child, Uriel reveals a terrifying yet beautiful truth. The explosion Musk triggered is not a single event, but the ignition point of a chain reaction that will continue unfolding in waves, spiritual waves that will manifest in the physical world as confusion, volatility, sudden shifts, unexpected announcements, strange patterns, and events that defy expert predictions. And while the world panics, you will feel something entirely different: clarity, alignment, certainty, and an inner knowing that the fire burning in your spirit is not fear but activation, because heaven has connected your destiny to this shift, not to burden you but to elevate you, not to frighten you but to awaken you, not to overwhelm you but to prepare you for the abundance that has been waiting in the unseen until your spirit reached the frequency required to receive it. My child, hear me clearly. Today marks the end of your season of stagnation and the beginning of your era of acceleration. For Uriel shows me the spiritual chains wrapped around your potential snapping like brittle twigs under the force of this explosion, and I see your aura expanding, glowing, strengthening, becoming magnetic, drawing opportunities, connections, ideas, clarity, and elevation toward you. and in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the deeper layers of this explosion, the timeline that has opened for you, and the signs that will confirm your destiny is no longer asleep, it is rising like a cosmic storm. And now, my child, as the blast wave from the spiritual explosion triggered on November 28, 2025 continues tearing through the hidden layers of reality like a cosmic wildfire burning through centuries of darkness, Archangel Uriel lifts his torch higher than ever before, and the light pouring from it is so fierce that the shadows hiding in the financial, political, mental, emotional, and energetic corners of the world begin to scream and dissolve, for heaven has released a correction so massive, so luminous, so violently precise that every corrupted structure built on fear, deception, greed, and manipulation is now shaking at its foundation, and Uriel declares with a thunderous voice that the ignition point you witnessed, the divine surge sparked through Elon Musk's subconscious alignment, has now expanded into the second shockwave, a spiritual detonation that moves not through markets, but through the hearts, minds, and destinies of billions, rearranging the flow of abundance, snapping the chains of suppression, and pulling chosen souls into timelines they were always meant to inherit but were prevented from entering by forces that wanted humanity asleep, obedient, and unaware. My child, Uriel reveals that the energy unleashed today is not stopping, it is evolving, accelerating, compounding, growing like a star being born inside the center of the universe, and as it expands, it begins rewriting the vibrational architecture of Earth's destiny grid, causing old pathways of limitation to collapse like crumbling stone while new pathways of opportunity burst open with the violence of volcanic creation, sending streams of golden potential toward those whose spirits resonate with truth, courage, alignment, and awakening, and I see your spirit among them, glowing like a beacon in the cosmic darkness, drawing the shockwave toward you not to harm you but to empower you. For your soul vibrates at a frequency heaven has been waiting for, and when the wave touches you fully, it activates dormant blueprints inside your destiny, potentials you have not even begun to imagine, strengths you have not yet tasted, doors you believed were locked forever suddenly swinging wide open as if the universe itself has bowed before your calling and cleared your path. And now Uriel shows me a vision of Elon Musk, not the man the world sees, but the spiritual vessel he has become in this fictional prophecy, standing in a field of swirling astral equations, each one glowing with divine intelligence, each one representing an intersection between earthly innovation and heavenly timing, and as he reaches toward a symbol floating before him, the entire field of equations erupts in golden fire, collapsing and reforming into a single spiraling code that pulses like the heart of destiny itself, and the moment he touches that code, the second shockwave tears through the collective consciousness of humanity, waking intuition in those who have been asleep, igniting courage in those who felt powerless, and awakening potential in those whose gifts were buried beneath doubt and survival. My child, Uriel reveals that this shockwave is tied to your timeline in ways more intimate than you realize, for the divine explosion did not just shake the world, it cracked open the spiritual shell around your destiny, releasing the life force, creativity, clarity, confidence, and cosmic intelligence that have been waiting inside you like a sleeping giant, and now that giant has opened its eyes, ready to rise inside you with a power that will transform everything, your decisions, your path, your purpose, your opportunities, your presence, your aura, and the way the universe responds to you. And Uriel now whispers a terrifying truth. The shockwave has revealed your name in the halls of angels, marking you as one whose destiny will accelerate faster than the world can process. Meaning blessings will not come slowly or quietly, they will erupt into your life like lightning tearing open the night sky, and those around you will not understand how everything is moving so fast for you, because they cannot see the spiritual explosion you survived, nor the divine alignment you now carry, nor the cosmic authority that has awakened inside your spirit. My child, heaven shows me that the third shockwave is forming already, a wave not of destruction but of revelation, clarity, and elevation, and in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal what this third shockwave will bring, why your destiny is now accelerating uncontrollably, and how this divine detonation will reshape your next chapter in ways the world is not ready to witness. And now, my child, as the second shockwave roars across the unseen plains like a cosmic dragon awakening from a 1,000-year slumber, Archangel Uriel lifts his blazing torch into the trembling sky of the spiritual dimension, and the heavens split open with such ferocity that entire constellations bend themselves out of alignment, rearranging into new patterns written by the divine hand itself. For the energy that Elon unknowingly triggered in this fictional prophecy has now mutated into the third shockwave, a force so vast, so ancient, so violently sacred that the very memory of the universe trembles as it approaches, and Uriel declares with a voice that burns through galaxies that this third shockwave is not merely a ripple of divine correction, it is the unveiling of truth that has been buried beneath centuries of illusion, the ignition of dormant celestial machinery, the awakening of the cosmic engine that powers the destiny of chosen souls, and Uriel reveals that this engine has now locked onto your spiritual frequency, identifying you as one whose destiny cannot be delayed, diminished, or destroyed any longer, and as the third shockwave forms, I see the astral matrix expanding like a living organism, its golden thread snapping, reconnecting, spiraling, and merging into fractal storms that twist and turn around your future like swirling galaxies made of pure potential. My child, Uriel shows me visions that strike like lightning, alternate versions of your life, collapsing and dissolving into dust, timelines where you remain stuck shattering like fragile glass, futures filled with failure evaporating under the burning gaze of divine intervention, and in their place, I see new timelines rising, glowing like molten gold, forming bridges, portals, and stairways carved from cosmic authority and acceleration, leading upward into realms where your spirit moves freely, confidently, untouchably, for heaven has broken every chain that held your destiny hostage, and now the third shockwave is preparing to crash into the core of your spiritual identity, not to destroy you, but to unleash the full magnitude of who you were always meant to become. And now Uriel reveals the terrifying beauty of what comes next. The third shockwave carries within it the sigil of ascension, an ancient celestial symbol that, when activated, unlocks the deepest layer of a soul's power. And this sigil has already begun engraving itself into your aura, spiraling into the center of your being, burning away everything false, weak, fearful, or limited, and awakening a strength that has slept inside you for lifetimes, a strength that once awakened cannot be reversed, cannot be dimmed, cannot be silenced, for it is the mark of one who is destined to rise in ways the world is unprepared to comprehend. My child, Uriel now shows me Elon standing at the epicenter of the fictional cosmic blast he triggered, surrounded by swirling codes of divine intelligence, and although he does not fully understand what he has activated, the shockwave continues radiating outward from him like solar flares erupting from a star, and with each flare, the universe rearranges itself around the souls chosen for elevation, and you are one of the brightest among them, for your spirit responds to the shockwave not with fear but with expansion, absorbing its energy, drawing its power, aligning with its frequency, becoming stronger, clearer, sharper, more awakened with every passing moment. And now, my child, the third shockwave begins to descend, spiraling downward from the highest realms of divine intelligence, weaving through the spiritual atmosphere like a flaming storm of renewal, tearing open gateways long sealed, summoning cosmic guardians, awakening forgotten memories encoded in your soul, and as it approaches you, I see your aura ignite into a brilliant sphere of white gold fire, expanding outward with a force that repels every shadow, every curse, every blockage ever placed on your path, for nothing in existence can withstand the arrival of this shockwave once it chooses a soul, and it has chosen you, my child. In the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the moment the third shockwave fully enters your destiny field, the awakening of the ancient power it carries, and the cosmic transformation that will rewrite your future with a magnitude no earthly language can contain. And now, my child, as the third shockwave spirals into existence like a newborn supernova tearing open the lungs of the universe, Archangel Uriel steps deeper into the roaring cosmic storm with a majesty so immense that entire galaxies bow themselves into spirals of reverence, and he declares that what is unfolding now is not merely a continuation of the divine detonation triggered in this fictional prophecy. It is the beginning of the acceleration era, a phase where time itself bends to the will of awakened souls, where destiny no longer crawls but races like a serpent of golden lightning, where every choice, every thought, every vibration becomes amplified 1,000-fold, shaping your future with terrifying speed. And Uriel reveals that the third shockwave has now become self-aware, an intelligent celestial force made of coded destiny, seeking out the souls whose inner frequency resonates with ascension. And as it scans the multiverse, it identifies you as one of its primary vessels, marking you with the blazing insignia of the awakened, and I see this insignia burning itself into your aura like a spiraling ring of fire, its radiant pulses echoing through your past, present, and future simultaneously, rewriting everything that once held you back, shattering the chains of limitation that clung to your timeline, and calling forth the ancient fragments of power your spirit has carried across countless lifetimes. My child, Uriel shows me the moment the shockwave touches the core of your being, your soul erupts into a pillar of white gold resonance so powerful that the astral guardians stationed across the 12 realms turn their heads at once, sensing the rise of a force they thought they would not witness again for thousands of ages. And as your energy expands, the Aurora Gate responds, its crystalline wings unfolding even wider, its fractal patterns shifting into new shapes to welcome your transformation, and the Luminarch Sentinels form a circle around you as the ground beneath your spirit cracks open, revealing the celestial reservoir, a hidden ocean of cosmic potential reserved only for the destined. And as your aura extends downward into the reservoir, it begins absorbing currents of ancient wisdom, lost abilities, and forgotten authority once wielded by the ascended masters who walked the astral planes before the birth of the first realm. My child, the fictional Elon's presence at the center of the cosmic blast intensifies the flow. For the celestial core in his grasp is now overloading, sending arcs of golden electrical force across dimensions, each arc striking the astral matrix and causing entire timelines to collapse, merge, or transform. And in this chaos, the universe begins aligning itself around the chosen. And again, I see your name glowing in the cosmic scrolls, marked by destiny fire, highlighted by the shockwave itself. For your evolution is now intertwined with the pulse of the multiverse, and nothing can stop the rise that is destined within you. And now Uriel reveals a deeper truth: the third shockwave is only the harbinger of the ascendant roar, the fourth and most powerful wave of them all, a wave that does not merely cleanse or awaken but rebirths a soul into its full cosmic identity. And as the third shockwave continues pouring through your spirit, stripping away the final layers of your old self like burning dust carried away by celestial winds, the ascendant roar begins forming in the outer layer of the divine realm, expanding like a colossal ring of molten celestial metal preparing to crash into the very architecture of destiny. And as it gathers strength, the entire multiverse begins to tremble, for this wave will not simply elevate you, it will transform you beyond recognition. And Uriel whispers that the moment it arrives, every dormant ability, every sealed gift, every silent power, every cosmic memory within your soul will awaken in a single blinding burst of ascended fire. My child, heaven prepares itself, the guardians kneel, the Aurora Gate glows, the celestial reservoir churns, the core in Elon's grasp fractures into radiant shards, and the fourth wave, the ascendant roar, is seconds away from igniting the greatest metamorphosis your soul has ever known. And in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the moment the roar descends, the shape of the power hidden within you, and the ascended form you are destined to become once the cosmic fire consumes your old identity and resurrects you as a being of awakened mastery. And now, my child, as the third shock wave finishes merging with the core of your spiritual identity and the multiverse trembles like a colossal beast awakening beneath the skin of creation, Archangel Uriel rises through the spiraling vortex of golden fire with wings unfurled so wide that entire star clusters dim beneath his shadow, and he declares that the fourth wave, the ascendant roar, is no longer forming at the edge of the divine horizon but has begun hurtling toward the astral realms. Like a cosmic comet forged from the heartbeat of eternity, and the universe itself bends around its approach as though bracing for impact, for this wave carries not correction, not awakening, not activation, but rebirth, and Uriel reveals with a trembling voice that even the eternal thrones have stood from their slumber to watch what is about to unfold, for the ascendant roar comes only once in the life of a chosen soul, and when it arrives, every echo of weakness, doubt, limitation, fear, uncertainty, hesitation, betrayal, heartbreak, and stagnation that ever held your timeline hostage will be incinerated in an instant, leaving behind nothing but the raw, unfiltered brilliance of who you were always meant to be. My child, Uriel shows me visions of the realms reacting to the roar, empires built on illusion trembling, astral temples humming with ancient energy, guardians sharpening their celestial blades, rivers of starlight reversing their flow, and forgotten deities rushing to the edges of their realms to witness the rise of a being whose destiny has become a beacon of cosmic transformation, and at the center of this entire cosmic cyclone stands you, your aura expanding into a blinding sphere of liquid gold that pulses with the rhythm of the universe itself, and I see your past selves, the fragmented versions of you that lived through pain, silence, sacrifice, loneliness, struggle, and disappointment, collapsing one by one as the roar approaches, each one dissolving into a stream of radiant mist that flows back into your core, reintegrating your lost power, returning your stolen fragments, and restoring the parts of your soul that life tried to break apart. And now Uriel reveals the unimaginable. The fictional Elon, still bound to the celestial core, has reached the final threshold of the liminal expanse, and the core, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the cosmic shift, has shattered into 7 blazing shards that shoot outward across the dimensions like meteors of divine intelligence, each shard carrying a different aspect of universal truth, and one of these shards, the shard of ascended will, has locked onto you, streaking toward your aura with unstoppable force, for the universe has recognized your rising frequency and chosen you as the vessel worthy of carrying this shard's power, and as it approaches, your aura splits open like a star undergoing supernova, releasing pillars of energy that spiral upward through the aurora gate, causing its wings to unfold fully for the first time in thousands of ages, and now the gate radiates with such intensity that the Luminarch sentinels kneel, their blades pressed to their chests in reverence, for they know the moment of your metamorphosis has arrived. My child, the ascendant roar crashes into the astral realms with a thunder that shakes the bones of creation, and its wave of blinding fire tears across the dimensions, passing through comets, planets, realms, spirits, guardians, and destinies, and when it reaches you, the universe falls silent, for the wave hits your core with the force of a collapsing dimension, igniting your essence into a singularity of divine power, and for one moment, one impossible, eternal moment, your spirit expands larger than the sky of the astral realms, your consciousness stretching across timelines, touching forgotten ages, speaking the language of creation, and bending cosmic laws like molten metal in your hands, for in that moment, you are no longer who you were, you are the awakened, the ignited, the resurrected, the ascended, the luminous force the multiverse has been waiting for. My child, in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the form you have become, the powers that have awakened inside you, and the new reality that will reshape itself around your ascended identity from this point forward. And now, my child, as the fourth wave, the ascendant roar, finishes detonating within the core of your spiritual existence and the multiverse reels from the force of your awakening, Archangel Uriel steps through the blinding nebula of white gold fire that now surrounds your transformed essence. And he declares with a voice that reverberates through the skeletal foundation of eternity that your old identity has disintegrated completely, leaving behind only the incandescent architecture of your ascended being, for you have crossed the boundary that separates mortals from the luminous few who command cosmic resonance, and the universe is adjusting itself to your presence like a living organism learning the rhythm of a new heartbeat. My child, Uriel reveals that the moment the roar merged with you, the energy of your existence shifted from linear to multidimensional, allowing your consciousness to stretch across timelines, jump between astral layers, and access forgotten libraries of divine intelligence that were sealed during the first cycle of creation. And now I see you standing not as a fragile soul in need of protection, but as an astral colossus, your aura extending across entire realms like a storm of shimmering stardust, your presence bending astral currents into spirals of submission, your breath causing the fabric of dimensions to ripple like cloth in cosmic wind. And Uriel shows me how the Luminarch sentinels bow before you, their golden armor flickering under the overwhelming gravity of your awakened power, for they sense within you the reborn signature of the eternal ember, the ancient flame carried only by those destined to reshape the flow of cosmic destiny, and this ember glows in your chest like a miniature sun, pulsing with divine memory, awakening within you fragments of forgotten authority, the ability to command astral matter, to rewrite fate threads, to summon guardians with a thought, to silence storms with a gaze, to shift energy currents with a whisper. And as these abilities rise within you, the Aurora Gate responds with a deafening hum, its colossal crystalline wings locking into their final position as it prepares to open fully, revealing the ascended realm beyond the threshold, a place no unawakened being has ever seen, a dimension where only those bearing cosmic fire may walk. My child, Uriel now reveals the most astonishing vision yet. The fictional Elon, still surrounded by swirling shards of the broken celestial core, has fallen to his knees as the energies overwhelm him, and from the core's remains emerges the seventh shard, the most powerful of all, spinning in the air like a golden star fragment searching for a vessel, and for a moment it turns toward him, recognizing his role in igniting the explosion, but then, with sudden, divine certainty, it rejects him and shifts its trajectory toward you. For the universe has recognized your ascended identity and now sees you as the rightful bearer of this ultimate shard, and the moment the shard senses your presence, it hurtles toward your aura with impossible velocity, spiraling into your chest and merging with the eternal ember, causing your form to erupt into a column of light so massive it pierces the ceiling of the astral realms and shoots into the infinite crown, sending shockwaves of ascended energy across the cosmos, announcing your rebirth to every realm, every guardian, every ancient being that once believed the age of ascended masters had ended. And now, my child, as the light settles and your new form stabilizes, Uriel reveals the truth that has been hidden from you until this moment, that you were never merely a witness to the cosmic shift, never simply a chosen soul reacting to divine chaos, but the axis bearer, the one destined to hold the new center of cosmic balance within your spirit, for the multiverse has been waiting, silently reshaping itself, preparing for your arrival into ascended identity. And now that you have awakened, the reality around you begins to transform, bending to your frequency, aligning to your will, reshaping itself to your command, and in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the full extent of your ascended form, the realms that now bend to your authority, and the unimaginable cosmic throne that awaits you beyond the Aurora Gate as you step into the era of your infinite mastery. And now, my child, as the cosmos holds its breath in anticipation of your next transformation and the fabric of the 12 realms ripples like a vast ocean of stardust under the gravitational pull of your awakened essence, Archangel Uriel rises into the center of the unfolding vortex with wings blazing brighter than the coronas of dying suns, and he declares with a thunder that shatters constellations into spirals of molten fire that the fifth wave, the crown of convergence, has completed its birth in the highest tier of the divine realm, and the energy it carries is so ancient, so absolute, so overwhelmingly sovereign that even the eternal thrones brace themselves for the force of its descent, for this wave is not a burst, not a shock, not an awakening, it is the merging of every timeline, every destiny, every potential version of your soul into one unified form that radiates such mastery that reality itself must bend around your presence to survive your rise. My child, Uriel, shows me visions so vast they eclipse entire galaxies, the aurora gate now fully unfurled, its wings stretching into infinity, spiraling around your ascended form like a crown made of crystallized universes, the luminarch sentinels kneeling in synchronized reverence as your aura expands into a supernova of white gold fire, the fictional Elon collapsing to his knees, overwhelmed by the gravitational magnitude of your resonance as the shards of the celestial core orbit around you like 7 blazing moons awaiting your command. And now Uriel lifts his torch, and the torch erupts into a pillar of cosmic plasma that shoots into the sky of the astral realm, punching a hole through the dimensional ceiling and summoning the celestial loom, a machine of divine intelligence woven from the echoes of creation's first breath, its spinning wheels forming rings of luminous code that rotate around you, selecting, synchronizing, and stitching together the fragments of every past life, every future version, every dormant ability, every forgotten piece of your cosmic identity, merging them into a singular ascended consciousness capable of shaping entire realms with nothing but intention. My child, the fifth wave ignites above you, a colossal crown of spiraling galaxies spinning so fast that time slows, space warps, and the universe kneels to the magnitude of your transformation. And Uriel reveals that this crown is not a symbol, not a title, not an ornament, but a living force of convergence that contains the sum of all cosmic knowledge, every forgotten law, every primordial frequency, every divine pattern that governs the birth and death of universes, and the moment it recognizes your soul's resonance, it begins its descent, releasing tendrils of radiant electricity that wrap around your being like serpents of ascension, injecting into your essence the authority of an axis bearer, a realm shaper, a timeline architect, and as it descends, your aura erupts into spiraling shockwaves so powerful that the astral matrix cracks like glass, revealing the blueprint of reality beneath it, glowing threads, shifting grids, molten currents of pure creation energy swirling in patterns no unawakened mind could ever comprehend. And now, my child, the crown of convergence touches your forehead with a burst of cosmic fire that splits the sky open from horizon to horizon, sending a wave of luminous annihilation across every realm, and the moment it fuses with your spirit, your consciousness expands beyond dimensional limitation, rising above linear time, entering the plane of omnivision where past, present, and future fold into a single glowing sphere held within the palm of your ascended awareness, and in that moment, you become something beyond soul, beyond angel, beyond guardian. You become a being whose presence rewrites the gravitational flow of destiny itself, and the universe reorients around you like stars aligning around a newborn axis, recalculating their orbits, shifting their histories, altering their fates to harmonize with your ascended frequency. My child, Uriel bows, as the fifth wave seals itself into your essence, and he declares that the sixth wave, the transcendent echo, is already forming in the shadow of the infinite horizon, preparing to reveal the ultimate truth, the reason you were chosen, the force that guides you, and the cosmic role only you can play in the era that begins after this ascension, and in the next continuation I deliver. He will reveal what the universe expects of an ascended sovereign, the laws that now obey your command, and the throne that awaits your presence in the highest realm beyond even the Aurora Gate. And now, my child, as your ascended presence stabilizes within the roaring heart of the astral realms and the dust of the fourth wave settles into shimmering halos around your awakened form, Archangel Uriel steps out of the blinding vortex like a titan forged from the skeleton of dying stars, and he declares with a voice that shakes the arteries of reality that your metamorphosis is not yet complete. For the cosmic architecture is still folding itself around your new identity, rewriting the rules of existence in your favor, bending the geometry of fate, reorganizing the pulsation of celestial currents so they revolve around you like planets orbiting a newborn sun. And Uriel reveals that the universe itself is adapting to your ascended resonance, for when the eternal ember fused with the seventh shard, a chain reaction tore through the plane of origins, awakening forces not seen since the era when the first gods walked across oceans of molten constellations. And I see you standing at the center of this ancient storm, your aura spiraling outward into multiple dimensions at once, a living beacon that pierces through cosmic fog and summons long-dormant powers back into creation, and entire astral civilizations feel your emergence like a psychic quake, dropping to their knees in silent recognition as your ascended energy burns through the horizon like a celestial dawn. My child, Uriel shows me the Aurora Gate fully opening now, its crystalline wings exploding into luminous tendrils that stretch across the cosmos, pulling fragments of forgotten universes into alignment, stitching dead realities back to life, and forming a bridge of pure radiant consciousness that leads into the realm of sovereigns, a plane so sacred that even angels require divine permission to enter. Yet the gate opens for you without resistance, for it recognizes your soul as one of its rightful heirs. And as its wings unfurl to their infinite span, the luminarch sentinels pound their blades into the astral ground, sending tremors of reverence across the dimensional grid, while the fictional Elon, humbled and trembling from the shock of witnessing your ascension, shields his eyes as your aura grows so bright that even the celestial core's remnants dissolve into ribbons of light around you. And now, my child, Uriel pulls aside the veil that conceals the throne of the infinite axis, a structure forged from compressed starlight, floating above a sea of swirling galaxies, held in place by the gravitational will of every eternal being who has ever ascended. And this throne resonates with your heartbeat, pulsing in perfect synchronicity, for it has awaited your arrival since the first moment your soul sparked into existence. And as the throne awakens, the astral matrix collapses around it like a cocoon breaking open, revealing a colossal spiraling chamber of cosmic memory where the history of all realms rotates like rings of molten eternity, each ring inscribed with symbols that now glow in your presence, recognizing you as the bearer of the new cosmic center, the one chosen to recalibrate the very axis of existence itself. My child, Uriel reveals the terrifying and magnificent truth, that the universe has been secretly restructuring itself around you since the moment the first shockwave touched your essence, that every step you took in darkness, every pain you survived, every obstacle you overcame, every silent battle that forged your spirit was preparing you for this moment. And now the fifth wave, the crown of convergence, begins forming above the throne of the infinite axis, swirling into existence like a halo of collapsing galaxies, pulling the last remnants of your unawakened identity out of your spirit and replacing them with the authority of an ascended sovereign. And the moment this wave descends, every realm will feel your rise, every guardian will sense your command, every ancient being will bow in recognition of your sovereign light. And the universe will reshape itself around your ascended will. My child, in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the arrival of the fifth wave, the merging of your consciousness with the cosmic throne, and the unimaginable form you will take when the crown of convergence fuses with your ascended soul and elevates you beyond every limit that ever existed. And now, my child, as the fifth wave's blinding crown of converged galaxies fuses completely with the core of your ascended essence and the multiverse still trembles beneath the seismic roar of your awakening, Archangel Uriel rises through the swirling nebula of molten eternity with wings stretched so wide the cosmos folds itself into spirals of reverence, and he declares that the sixth wave, the transcendent echo, has now taken shape beyond the rim of the known dimensions, vibrating with a frequency so ancient, so absolute, so overwhelming that even the eternal thrones fall silent, for this echo is not a surge of energy but the voice of creation itself, a primordial resonance born at the first spark of existence, and it recognizes you as its new conduit, its chosen vessel, its awakened sovereign whose soul now burns brighter than the crystalline suns of the upper realm. My child. Uriel shows me visions so enormous no mortal mind could endure them. I see the endless spiraling layers of the astral matrix collapsing like shattered glass as your ascended aura expands, rewriting the gravitational script that holds realities together. I see forgotten pantheons rising from beneath cosmic oceans to witness your metamorphosis, their ancient crowns dissolving into dust as the universe replaces their authority with yours. I see the fictional Elon, his mortal form trembling beneath the cosmic weight of the 7 shards orbiting you like blazing moons, his consciousness flickering between awe and surrender as the currents of destiny he accidentally triggered now bow before your ascended will. And then Uriel reveals the terrifying beauty of what comes next. The transcendent echo begins pulsing, releasing waves of sonic luminosity that ripple across the infinite planes, summoning beings older than galaxies, beings forged from collapsed dimensions, beings who have not spoken since the dawn cycle, and each one turns toward you, sensing the rebirth of an axis around which all future timelines will revolve, recognizing in your aura the unmistakable signature of the eternal ember fused with the 7th shard, a combination so sacred that reality itself must bow to your frequency. My child, the echo descends, unraveling time into ribbons of glowing memory, spiraling around your ascended form like serpents of crystallized sound, injecting into your consciousness visions of universes yet unborn, destinies yet unshaped, realms yet unilluminated, and as these visions flood your spirit, your ascended identity grows even larger, expanding beyond galaxies, beyond star fields, beyond the boundaries of existence, until your awareness fills the entire cosmic sphere like an ocean of divine intelligence, and Uriel kneels in the blaze of your radiance as the echo fuses into your being, sealing your ascension with a resonance so powerful that even the laws of causality tremble and bow before you. My child, in that moment, you become something no realm, no guardian, no deity has witnessed in eons, a sovereign of the infinite axis, a being whose presence shapes fate, whose intention bends dimensions, whose heartbeat governs the rise and fall of realities. And as this truth anchors itself into the pillars of existence, the 7th shard finally stabilizes inside your chest, radiating streams of omnipotent brilliance that melt the last remnants of limitation from your soul, leaving you as the pure embodiment of creation's will. And now, my child, as the echo settles and your new form reverberates across the multiverse, Uriel rises slowly, reverently, and he declares that the 7th wave, the final ascension, has begun forming, a wave so vast, so absolute, so infinitely final that it will not simply elevate you, it will complete you, merge you with the throne that awaits beyond all realms, and transform you into the eternal anchor of the cosmic cycle itself. And in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the arrival of this 7th wave, the throne that calls your name from the void of origins, and the form you will take when the universe crowns you as its ascended sovereign. And now, my child, as the 6th wave, transcendent echo, settles into the uroboric coils of your ascended consciousness and the multiverse echoes with the aftershock of your awakening, Archangel Uriel rises into the center of the dimensional storm with such overwhelming brilliance that the skeletal framework of the cosmos vibrates as though struck by a divine hammer. And he declares with a voice that fractures cosmic silence that the 7th wave, the final ascension, has begun forming in the emptiness beyond all creation, in the region known only as the void of origins, where even light fears to exist without permission, and from that infinite darkness emerges a spiral of impossible color, a vortex made of raw existence itself, swirling with the power of unshaped realms, unspoken laws, unborn universes, and unrevealed destinies, and this spiral recognizes you as its anchor, its chosen center, its destined sovereign whose awakened aura now shines brighter than the first star ever born. My child, Uriel shows me visions that would annihilate the sanity of any unawakened being, visions of the void itself bending as your essence expands, visions of the eternal oceans of anti-time boiling in your presence, visions of the fundamental equations that bind reality together rewriting themselves to align with the frequency of your ascended soul. And I see the ancient pillars that hold the dimensions in place crack open, releasing rivers of shimmering truth energy that surge toward you in tidal waves, merging with your newly reborn axis form to enhance your power beyond every known threshold. My child, I see forgotten gods, beings who once commanded the tides of galaxies, kneeling across astral fields as your radiance spreads through the corridors of eternity, and in their trembling reverence, I witness the dissolving of every hierarchy older than creation itself. For the seventh wave acknowledges no crown but yours, no command but yours, no center but your blazing ascended being, and as the wave forms, the aurora gate ignites once more, its crystalline wings reshaping into jagged fractal spires as though preparing to conduct an infinite surge of cosmic voltage, and the luminarch sentinels form an unbreakable ring around you, their armor pulsing in rhythm with your expanding heartbeat, for they sense the arrival of a force so absolute it will collapse every outdated realm and resurrect them in your image. My child, Uriel now reveals the impossible, the throne of the infinite axis, the seat of ultimate existence, begins to awaken fully, rising from the cosmic sea with gravitational force so strong it bends entire star systems around it, pulling everything into orbit as if the universe itself is bowing, and when this throne awakens, the void of origins cracks open like a cosmic egg, releasing the primordial choir, beings made of sound older than time. And these beings sing your name through every dimension, their voices harmonizing with the seventh wave as if announcing the birth of a new cosmic era. My child, the fictional Elon, still surrounded by the remnants of the shattered celestial core, is pushed back by the tidal force of your power as the seven shards orbit you like a constellation reborn, and the seventh shard, now embedded in your eternal ember, begins pulsing with impossible radiance, sending beams of cosmic intelligence through your form that break apart what little was left of your unascended self, replacing it with layers of divine code capable of commanding entire realities with a single intention. And now, as Uriel raises his torch toward the void, the seventh wave hurls itself downward like a collapsing dimension, a spiral of origin fire ready to fuse entirely with your soul, and the moment it touches you, I see the multiverse fracture into a kaleidoscope of luminous shards, each shard representing a potential timeline, a future, a destiny, and each one bends, folds, and merges into the single path your will commands. And in this moment, my child, you become not simply an ascended being, not simply a sovereign, but the axis eternal, the living center of cosmic law, the rebirth of creation's authority, the luminous force around which all universes will now rotate. And in the next continuation I deliver, Uriel will reveal the throne that now awakens for you, the responsibilities carved into your cosmic identity, and the form you will take once the seventh wave completes its fusion and the multiverse kneels before your eternal sovereignty. And now, my child, as the seventh wave, the final ascension, completes its first collision with the core of your awakened essence and the cosmos itself reshapes its skeleton around the magnitude of your rising power, Archangel Uriel emerges from the roaring spiral of origin fire with wings unfolded so wide they eclipse the firmament, and he declares with a voice that splinters nebulae into rivers of shimmering dust that your transformation has surpassed the thresholds once believed impossible, even by the eternal thrones, for the force now radiating from your ascended being is not merely divine, not merely cosmic, not merely eternal, it is foundational, woven into the very equations that define existence, and Uriel reveals that the throne of the infinite axis, awakened by your resonance, has now begun absorbing power from the deepest chambers of the void of origins, drawing streams of anti-time, primordial starlight, forgotten laws, and dormant creation energy into its crystalline heart, causing galaxies to tremble as though the universe itself is inhaling your presence into its core. My child, I see cosmic layers peeling away like veils as your ascended aura expands, revealing realms beyond imagination, realms of crystalline seas, realms of echo-born spirits, realms built entirely from the breath of forgotten gods, and each realm begins bending its timeline, its gravity, its fate toward you, recognizing you not as a visitor but as the new axis around which their destinies will orbit, and entire pantheons fall to their knees as the 7 shards spiral into a perfect formation around your chest, each shard rotating like a blazing planet, weaving a geometry of impossible beauty that forms the crown of eternal resonance, a celestial halo whose brilliance surpasses that of collapsed superclusters.